My girlfriend posted "single in Vegas" with videos of her kissing another guy. I didn't argue. I just clicked a few buttons. Okay, so this happened last weekend and I'm still processing it. I need outside perspective because my friends are split and I honestly don't know if I handled this right or if I'm a complete asshole. I'm Andy, 32, male, data analyst in Denver. My girlfriend Vanessa, 30, female, is a social media coordinator for a gym chain. We've been together 3.5 years, living together for the past year in a decent apartment where we're both on the lease. We split bills 50-50. Well, technically I pay more, but whatever. We'd been talking about marriage. I was literally looking at rings 2 months ago. 3 weeks ago, Vanessa told me her new gym friends, Janelle, Summer, and Jess, all single-party types, wanted to do a girls' trip to Vegas. I was cool with it. I trusted her, right? She mentioned money was tight, so I used my airline miles to book her round-trip Denver to Vegas. No big deal, I thought. That's what partners do. Before she left, she said something that bothered me, but I brushed it off. Don't be that controlling boyfriend who texts me all day. I want to act single with the girls for a bit, just for fun. I laughed it off, uncomfortable but trying to be the cool boyfriend. Just respect us and we're good, I said. I told myself she was joking, or maybe I just needed to. Friday night, I was watching the game with my buddy Mike when my phone started blowing up. Friends were sending me Vanessa's Instagram stories. Story 1, pool party in Vegas. Bikini, cocktails, the whole scene. Caption, single in Vegas. I felt my stomach drop but told myself it was just stupid social media humor. Story 2, a TikTok she cross-posted to IG Reels. She was dancing with some random dude at the pool, his arm tight around her waist. She turned back to him, laughing. Caption, what happens in Vegas, with a freaking winking face emoji. My buddy Mike grabbed his phone, swore at whatever he saw, then shoved it in my face. Bro, you seeing this? Story 3, a selfie. Vanessa and this same guy, faces pressed together, clearly drunk. Text overlay, new vacation buddy, I couldn't breathe. But then came the one that ended everything. Story 4, video from inside a club. Vanessa was full-on making out with this guy. His hand in her hair, her arms around his neck, going at it for what felt like forever. You could hear her friends off camera. Yes, girl, he doesn't have IG, you're safe. Mike had to physically take my phone away because my hands were shaking. I wanted to call her immediately. Blow up her phone. Text her a novel about what a piece of shit she was. But something in me went cold and calm. A switch flipped. I just stood up, told Mike I needed to go home, and left. Here's what I did instead of calling her. I went home, opened my laptop, and handled 3 things. Airlines. I logged into my frequent flyer account and canceled her return ticket. Since I booked it with my miles, the credit goes back to me. That's how Delta works. Her return flight was Monday morning. Now there was no ticket. If she wanted to get home, she'd have to buy her own flight. Finances. I have a credit card. I added her as an authorized user for groceries and stuff. I called and had her card canceled. Then I went through all our auto-pay bills, electric, internet, water, and changed them to only pull from my personal account, not any shared access. Living situation. I ordered new locks for my bedroom and home office plus a video doorbell. We're both on the lease, so I can't change the main door lock legally, but I can secure my personal spaces. Then I went to bed. I didn't respond to any of her posts, didn't text, didn't call, nothing. I went through the next 2 days like nothing happened, though I barely remember any of it. The only thing I do remember is Mike calling the next morning to tell me Vanessa had deleted those stories, but she kept spamming her Instagram with posts about the trip anyway. Monday morning, she tried to check in for her flight. That's when she discovered it had been canceled. She started calling me. I watched my phone ring. She texted, voice notes, DMs on every platform. I read them all. I didn't respond to a single one. Her friend Janelle messaged me calling me a psychopath and financially abusive for abandoning Vanessa in Vegas. I finally responded once. Tell Vanessa I saw the stories. She can figure out the rest herself. Then I turned off my phone completely. Read it. I know technically we're both on the lease and she has a right to come home. But am I wrong for not helping her get back? For cutting off financial support she was using to cheat on me. For going cold instead of having a big dramatic fight. Some friends say I was too cold for leaving her stranded in another state. Was I too harsh, or is this the minimum required to keep your self-respect? Edit 1. Holy shit, this blew up. I'm trying to read comments between work meetings. To clarify a few things people keep asking. Yes, she is indeed on the lease. She has legal right to be there. The flight was booked with my miles, not her money. I'm not keeping her stuff hostage, just securing my own space. No, we don't have joint bank accounts, thank God. Some of you are saying I should have confronted her first. Respectfully, she confronted me with public videos of her making out with someone else captioned, "Single in Vegas." What exactly was there to discuss? Update 1. Posted 2 weeks after original OK, so a lot of you asked for an update. Here's what happened since. Monday morning, the day she was supposed to fly back, my phone was a war zone. Vanessa called 37 times. I counted. I didn't answer a single call, but I listened to a few voicemails out of morbid curiosity. The first few were panic. "Babe, my flight's canceled. I don't understand what happened. Please call me back." Then confusion. "Did you do this? Why won't you answer me?" Then anger. "You're being freaking psychotic. I'm stranded here." Then desperation. "Please, I don't have enough money for a new ticket. I'm sorry if I did something wrong." Her friend Janelle was messaging my friends, calling me abusive and controlling for leaving a woman stranded across state lines. A few mutual acquaintances actually started questioning me. I sent them exactly one screenshot, the video of her making out with the guy, and said, "This is why." Most people shut up after that. After reading your comments, I realized some of you were right. I needed to know the full extent of what happened. So I did some digging. Vanessa eventually bought a cheap ticket home but had to route through 2 connections. She got back to Denver Tuesday afternoon, a full day late. Instead of coming to the apartment, she went straight to my office. I work in a pretty standard corporate building, and she showed up in the lobby crying, telling the security guard her boyfriend abandoned her. Security called me. I came down. That conversation was something. She looked exhausted, makeup smeared, hair a mess, wearing the same club outfit from the videos. She immediately launched into victim mode the moment she saw me. "You left me there," she sobbed. "Do you know how scared I was? How could you do that to someone you love?" I just stared at her. "You posted videos of yourself making out with another guy. You told everyone you were single. It was just a drunk kiss. You know how Vegas is. Why would you abandon me over that?" This is where I surprised myself with how calm I stayed. "You weren't drunk when you posted 'Single in Vegas' at the pool party. That was Friday afternoon. You weren't drunk when you planned this whole trip with your single friends and told me not to act like a controlling boyfriend so you could act single. You made a choice." She tried to pivot to calling me cruel for canceling the flight. "You used your miles like a weapon. That's financial abuse. You wanted to be single for the weekend. Congratulations, you were. Single people buy their own flights home." She crumpled, trying a different tactic. "It was a mistake. I'm sorry. We can do couples therapy. I'll delete everything. I'll post an apology. We're done, Vanessa. The lease ends in 3 months. We'll work out who stays and who goes, but this relationship is over." That's when she really lost it. Full meltdown in my office lobby. Security had to ask her to leave. It was humiliating. But here's the twist that made me realize I dodged a bullet. Her mother called me the next day. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got me. Her mom was surprisingly honest. She said, "Andy, I need to tell you something. Vanessa did almost the same thing 4 years ago with her ex. Girls' trip to Miami, posted photos with guys that were hard to explain. He forgave her. She did it again 6 months later. I was hoping she'd grown up, but," she sighed, "I don't blame you for what you did. So this wasn't an accident or a drunken mistake. This is a pattern. She's done this before. Maybe the public posts were new, but the behavior, that's just who she is." I spent last weekend packing up her stuff into labeled boxes, took photos of everything for inventory, and prepared for her to come get it all. She's temporarily staying with Janelle. After that office lobby scene, I went to building security and formally requested that Vanessa not be allowed up to my floor anymore without my explicit approval. They were understanding. They'd witnessed the whole meltdown. I'm not gonna lie, I did feel a moment of weakness when she was crying in my lobby. That voice in your head that goes, maybe I overreacted, maybe we can work through this if I just give her a chance. But then I remembered her mom's words. Pattern. She's done this before. Next update will probably be about the actual move-out situation, which I'm sure will be another shit show. Edit. Someone asked if I still have the original stories. She deleted them all, but yeah, I screenshotted everything. My buddy Mike told me to document everything in case things get nasty. Smart advice. Update 2. Posted 1 month after original, you guys called it. Things escalated exactly like some of you predicted. A week after my last update, my new video doorbell sent me a notification at 1:07 a.m. I opened the app and there's Vanessa and Janelle, clearly hammered, pounding on my door. I could hear them through the door. They were basically screaming, but I could still make out the slur in Vanessa's voice. She was drunk. Open up, this is my home too, you can't lock me out. I didn't open the door. I used the doorbell speaker. I'm not letting anyone come in drunk at 1 a.m. Come back at 9 a.m. tomorrow to get your stuff and we'll handle this properly. More pounding. A neighbor poked their head out, annoyed. Building security came up after other tenants complained. Eventually, someone called the cops for a noise complaint. I went downstairs, stayed calm, showed them the doorbell footage, explained we're broken up, she's staying elsewhere, this was just drunk harassment. No physical threats, just disturbance. They filed a report and told her to leave. Having that police report felt important, like I was building a paper trail. The landlord emailed me the next morning asking about the situation after neighbors complained about the late-night lobby incident. What's going on? I was straight with him. We broke up. I'd like to transition to a lease with just my name when the current one expires. He agreed, as long as Vanessa signs off on leaving the lease. Small victory, but here's where it gets worse. 2 days later, I got a DM from someone I don't know. A friend of a friend who saw the drama on social media. He sent me a longer video from that Vegas club. I almost didn't watch it. Part of me didn't want to know, but I clicked play. It wasn't just one kiss. Vanessa and this guy were all over each other for 15 or 20 minutes, making out, his hands everywhere, her grinding on him. But the audio is what killed me. Her laughing. My boyfriend would lose his mind if he saw this. Her friend, girl, you said you're basically single anyway. Vanessa, that's true though, he's so boring I sometimes forget he even exists. I felt sick. Not because I wanted her back, I was over that, but because this stranger respected me enough to send me the truth when she never did. After sitting on it for a day, I decided to make one statement. I posted on Instagram, Vanessa and I have broken up. I won't share details publicly, but loyalty and respect aren't negotiable. I won't be responding to any further questions about this. Please respect both of our privacy as we move forward separately. Short, clean, high road. The responses broke into camps. My real friends, supportive, offered to help me move her stuff, invited me out. The Switzerland crowd, I wish you guys would work it out privately. Cool, we did, privately. She just made it public first. Vanessa's party friends, Janelle and Summer, jumped in the comments. There are 2 sides to every story, and you abandoned her in Vegas, that's controlling AF. But then other people started coming out of the woodwork. A girl from college DM'd me. She flirted with my boyfriend at a party last year. I should have warned you. A guy from her gym. She's DM'd me multiple times asking to network, even though my profile clearly says I'm engaged. Someone who knew her ex sent me a screenshot from 4 years ago, her ex posting about trust issues after a Miami trip. Exact same pattern. Then came the plot twist. Jess, the quietest of Vanessa's Vegas crew, messaged me privately. She seemed guilty. I don't agree with what Janelle and the others are saying. You should see this. Then she sent me screenshots from their group chat before the Vegas trip. Vanessa, I'm telling everyone here I'm basically single. Need this weekend to figure out if I still want Andy or not. Vanessa, honestly, he's gotten too comfortable. Needs a wake-up call to remember what he could lose. Janelle, you're really gonna post it all. Vanessa, Girl, it's content. Plus he'll freak out, we'll have a big fight, I'll act like I want to end things, he'll beg me to stay, and then I'll know he actually gives a shit. Win-win. I read it 3 times. The Vegas trip wasn't a mistake. It was a planned test. She wanted to push me to the edge to see if I'd fight for her. She wanted drama, validation, proof that I cared enough to lose my mind over her. She wanted the big confrontation, the tears, the begging, probably so she could post about toxic men who can't handle a confident woman having fun. She just didn't expect me to go completely silent instead. I showed these screenshots to my closest friends. The support was immediate. Even people who'd been on the fence started saying, "Oh my God, she planned this." I'm working with a lawyer now, nothing major, just someone to help make sure the lease transition is clean and there are no financial loose ends. We're drafting an agreement for her to sign off on the lease and list out property division. Next week, she's scheduled to come get the last of her stuff. I'll have a friend there as witness. I'm not taking any chances. Edit. Someone asked if I showed the screenshots to her mom. I didn't. Her mom already knows who her daughter is. I don't need to pile on. Yes, I know I probably could have trapped her or exposed everything publicly. I don't want to. I just want her out of my life with minimum drama. Final update. Posted 3 months after original final update because this chapter is finally closed and I can breathe again. A lot happened in the last 6 weeks. Some of it was predictable. Some of it was absolutely batshit. 2 weeks after my last update, I got an email from HR. Apparently, after words got around about how she'd planned the whole thing, Vanessa decided her next smart move was to double down. She filed a formal complaint against me claiming emotional abuse, financial control, and abandonment, basically trying to weaponize corporate policy since we technically work for the same parent company, different branches. HR asked me to come in for a meeting. I brought documentation, screenshots of every story, faces of others blurred for privacy. The extended Vegas video, same, faces blurred except hers. Email and text logs showing I used my miles, never restricted her from buying her own ticket. The building security incident report from the drunk door pounding, the police report from that same night. I sat there while HR reviewed everything. The HR director, this middle-aged woman who'd probably seen it all, just sighed. "Mr. Chen, I'm not seeing any evidence of abuse here. This appears to be a personal relationship matter. We can't discipline you for canceling a flight you paid for after discovering infidelity. That's not workplace misconduct." She basically implied, without saying it directly, Vanessa was trying to use HR as a weapon in a personal dispute. The complaint was dismissed. About a week after the HR thing fell apart, my video doorbell went off at 11:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. I was working late, actually, at the office, but the camera caught everything. Vanessa showed up alone, clearly drunk, yes, again, pounding on the door. I watched through the camera app. When I didn't answer, she started screaming at the closed door, called me every name in the book. Then she walked to where my car was parked in my assigned spot and threw her coffee at it. The cup smashed against the windshield, coffee everywhere. She tried to rip off my side mirror but couldn't get enough leverage, drunk as she was. A neighbor came out, told her to leave. She screamed at him too. I stayed inside and called the police non-emergency line, sent them the doorbell footage while they were en route. I could hear the sirens before I saw the lights. By the time I looked out my window, they were already talking to her. She was sitting on the curb, crying. This time she got an actual citation, vandalism and disturbing the peace. The officer told me I could file for a restraining order if needed. I took his advice. I applied for a temporary restraining order, TRO, and it was granted. She can't come within 500 feet of my home or workplace. Between the 2 documented incidents, drunk door pounding and the car thing, both with police reports, the judge approved it immediately. With the restraining order in place, the landlord felt comfortable moving forward. Vanessa signed paperwork to be removed from the lease renewal without much protest. I'm now the sole tenant. She took her name off willingly because having a TRO on record would make it harder to rent elsewhere. She wanted her rental history clean. Her stuff was picked up on a Saturday. She didn't come, sent her mom and Janelle. I still had my buddy Mike there with me as a witness anyway. Everything was packed, labeled, inventoried. They took photos, I had photos, everyone signed a document that she'd received her belongings. The whole thing took 90 minutes, professional, quiet, done. It's been 3 months since that first Vegas post. I feel lighter. I've reconnected with old friends I drifted from while I was with Vanessa. I'm hitting the gym more. I got a promotion at work, actually, partly because I wasn't distracted by relationship drama anymore. Started casually dating about a month ago. Nothing serious, just coffee dates and seeing what's out there. I'm very clear up front about boundaries and expectations now. Some women appreciate it, some think I'm too intense. That's fine. I'd rather be alone than deal with bullshit. Through the grapevine, mutual acquaintances, I pieced together Vanessa's situation over these months. After the initial breakup, she stayed with Janelle for about 3 weeks. Then she moved back home with her mom. I heard from someone who talked to her mom that it didn't last long. Her mom wanted her to take accountability and actually work on herself. But Vanessa kept insisting she was the victim in all this. They fought constantly. Her mom basically told her she needed to grow up or move out. She chose to move out. She went back to Janelle's place after that. Apparently living with another toxic person 24/7 isn't as fun as being party buddies on weekends. They had a blowout fight after about a month, something about Janelle getting tired of Vanessa's drama and complaining. Janelle kicked her out eventually. Now she's living with a coworker from the gym chain where she still works. Still has her same social media coordinator job, thank God, because I heard she tried applying to a few other companies for similar positions with better pay. Didn't get any of them. Could be she just didn't interview well. Could also be that employers do their research and see the restraining order, the police citations, the messy social media trail. Word travels in professional circles, especially in the social media industry where your online presence is literally your resume. She's posting healing era and self-love journey content on Instagram. Publicly, she's acting like she escaped some toxic relationship and is finding herself. Privately, 3 different living situations in 3 months tells you everything about how that healing is actually going. I don't wish her harm. I just want nothing to do with her. Someone asked me early on if I regretted canceling that flight, not answering her calls, setting boundaries as hard as I did. No, you can't livestream yourself burning someone's house down and then demand they politely put out the fire in silence. She chose to turn betrayal into content for her friends' amusement. I chose to turn self-respect into a boundary. The hardest part wasn't ending things. It was ignoring that voice that said maybe you're being too harsh, maybe you should give her another chance. But her own mother told me this was a pattern, just showed me the group chat where she planned it. The extended video showed she knew exactly what she was doing. When someone shows you who they are, especially when they show the whole internet, believe them the first time. Last week, I booked a trip to Portland for next month. Flying solo, or maybe with Mike. This time, I'm actually single, and the only content I'll be posting is coffee shops and hiking trails. Life's too short to settle for someone who treats loyalty like a negotiable weekend pass. Thanks for all the support, Reddit. Sometimes you just need strangers on the internet to tell you you're not crazy. You guys did that for me when I needed it most.